Might as well rip it.
Good evening, Keepers of the Cash. Gary B, the casual comic guy here, and tonight, guys, we apparently have WhoDat, but I think he's still on his way home from picking up his daughter. So hopefully he'll be in here in just a few minutes. But until then, let me introduce you to my co-host. Below me, we have Digger Jim, who's with me every Thursday. How you doing tonight, Jim?
Doing good, doing real good. I got an awesome AOK from a community member today.
Nice. And I liked on Stephanie and I Saturday morning show when they gave you the nickname Grave Digger Jim.
Yes, that's right. Yes, that happens.
And of course, joining us again, he's becoming a regular. We have CBizzle. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing pretty well.
Nice. And so, Jim, real quick while we're waiting for WhoDat, why don't you show what Ruby G got you today?
Sure. So this came in the mail. Ruby G, he hooked me up with an AOK, and he knows that I like X-Men, so he sent me some X-Men books. Nice. This is $279, 302, and I love Colossus, man. I mean, I love Wolverine, but Colossus is like my second favorite.
Yeah.
And
my all-time favorite.
I don't know about this one. It's a True Believers, and I don't know why. So I'm must have missed that storyline.
You have to figure it out.
Yeah, he also knows that I'm a big Iron Man fan. So I got some old school Iron Man, issue 98 with Sunfire. And if you know Sunfire, he's been affiliated with the X-Men.
Right.
And then
Sunfire is a great character.
Classic Frankenstein.
Nice.
With Iron Man. And then the last book, this one, Tony Stark Iron Man #1, the Hulkbuster variant. But the coup de grace is Ruben is an amazing artist, and he sent me this Iron Man sketch card, which my camera will not do it justice, but it has like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like some type of gold chrome paint or ink in it around the eyes and stuff, which
very cool.
I'm loving. So
great job, Ruby G.
Yeah.
All right, guys, our guest of the hour has joined us. None other than WhoDat himself. How you doing tonight, sir?
How y'all doing? How's everybody doing? I'm running in the house, put my daughter in the tub, and I'm like, take care of yourself. the duties of a parent when mom's at work.
They never end.
They never end. They really don't.
But enjoy those moments. I do enjoy these moments, though.
So, as we like to do on my shows, we're going to let you give the quick who are you, the 2 minutes. Who is WhoDat? What is this channel about? And then we're going to say hi to the crowd, and then we'll come back to you for your first book, sir.
All right. Just WhoDat Comics. I have movies in there because I love movies. And that's why I kind of thought about changing it. But I go to movies all the time. I've literally seen a lot of the movies that already came out. I used to get a lot of early premiere stuff. So movies is always going to stick with me. So that's why the name's there. I don't do any movie reviews like I should, or even me and my daughter should, because she loves movies as well, which I'm happy that kind of fell off from me to her. But I've been heavily collecting before she was born. I would say before I started working at my job, so like over 15 years ago, heavily collecting on the books that I'm getting now. I used to when I was growing up, wasn't able to buy comics. I was a sports guy, playing sports. I was like 5'10" by the age of 12. So I was a big sports guy. So it was like buy stuff for sports, buy comics. So what I did is, I know a lot of people have done it, when you had to make that sacrifice choice. Go to the mall, they got a bookstore. Said, I'm going to the bookstore. All right. Just come get me when you're done. So I'll read everything that's on the bookstore, little spinner rack. And might miss times. You know, you might have something that come up, but you might got to go to the mall again for like a month. So I might miss stuff if it came out like bi-weekly. It didn't matter to me. I just wanted to. I used to just like looking at the pictures and reading. That's all that mattered to me. And really got into it when the cartoons, because I'm an '80s baby. So with TMNT, Simpsons, all that stuff that came out in the '80s. That was my kind of like go-to, and that's how I kind of got into the reading aspect. But as I got older, I was like, oh, I could buy this stuff. You know, so I started buying the stuff I read, and then reading other stuff and buying that. So that's how I kind of started. I was just a reader, didn't collect. I do have some old stuff that my dad found. So I guess I was kind of a collector because he found some old stuff. I said, man, this is like 90s.
Wow.
Because he showed me, he's like, are these worth anything? And I was like, that's a little bit about me.
Perspective. Because 90s isn't old for me and Jim. That was yesterday.
Yeah.
So it was like, that was like, looking at that, I was like, oh, so I did buy stuff. I just don't remember. I do remember my avid memory was going to the mall or going somewhere that had something. My mom's shopping and I'm over there reading in the store.
I was always that guy too. Like I can't go to a mall without spending an hour in Barnes and Noble.
Oh yeah.
Can't do it.
That was me. And then as the cartoons and movies picked up, I kind of went that avenue. But I still read the stuff when and then I kind of lost. You kind of lose track as you get into the girls and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So those teenage years go all the way through college. I kind of didn't collect that all. Have a mind and other things.
Right.
Yeah.
But as I graduated, I got back into it. Because I started making my own money and started having, memories and stuff like that. So I've been doing, on and off because I'm 39 now, and some people are older. And, 39 now, my body feels older. Trust me, playing sports. So it's doing it for as long as I've been doing it, and kind of doing it the way I'm doing it now. I kind of like sell to fund the hobby, so I let the hobby fund itself.
Yeah.
That's just a little bit about me. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I'm just happy to be here, to meet everybody, to see a lot of people in the chat I've seen throughout. So
we're gonna say hi to the chat right now, and we'll see who you know. First in, as always, we have Las Cruces. Good evening, Las Cruces.
No, Las Cruces is everywhere.
Brian, how you doing, Brian? Guest a few nights ago, Phil from Phil's Treehouse. How you doing, Phil? Chuck Hensey. Good evening, sir. Who also had a great 10-1-1 and a great in the hot seat. We have Anachronic Comics Joe in, who I got to meet a week ago. So how you doing, Joe? Nice to see you again, buddy. Steve White, who is coming up August 1st on the 10-1-1. And filling up here, we have Paul from Psychedelic Comics. Good evening, Paul. How you doing? And keep going down the list here. We have Milt's here. Good evening, Milt. Nice to see you, sir. DVH from the Spiral Dimension. How you doing, Dr. Von Hoots? Bill Ailing. Good evening, sir. Nice to see you. Evil Air Projects. Pocan Joe. How you doing tonight, sir? Looks like he's up to no good.
Yeah.
Let's see. And we have Chris from Retro Rocket Comics in here. How you doing, sir? Nice to see you. John's Comics and Kids is here. Oh, yeah. Everyone knows that he's a Turtles fan, John.
Only have 3 turtle books. I only have 3 turtle books out of 12 books, John.
Nice. Jerry the Jitterbug, one of my all-time favorite guys right there. How you doing, Jerry? Another one of my favorite guys, Matt Woods. How you doing tonight, sir? Hey, Matt, Joe, and Jerry. I got those 3 in my crowd. I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
Warlord's here. How you doing tonight, sir? The Jackson Roy Kirk. So expect some good punts tonight, guys. Chicago Schultzy, nice to see you.
Yeah.
And are we caught up?
Hulk Collector 82.
We're in a full house. Hulk, Kevin's here. Hulk Collector, how you doing tonight, sir?
I think that's it.
And we're good. All right, we are caught up. All right, WhoDat, let's get to your first book and learn about why it's one of your favorites.
All right, so I'm gonna kind of be going all over the place. These are not any order. Just let
That's
people know.
okay.
Besides the last two. Besides the last two. Well, I should say not the last three, I think. Am I thinking right? I don't know. We're going to figure it out. But I'm going to start off with I'm going to start off with this book here. And the reason why is just because this is actually the time frame when I got back into collecting, got back into reading. It was this and another book that's on my list of books. So this book here, I really enjoyed this run. This is
Nice.
Black Panther. This is that Dark Reign run. I actually, funny story with this, I bought the trade going on vacation because I wanted something to read while on a plane because I can't sleep on a plane. I hate flying, but I love flying. If that makes sense to people, you need to fly to get to places that you want to see, but I'm not comfortable.
That's my wife. That's totally my wife right there.
So I bought the trade for this, and I loved it. I loved it. I think the trade might have had the first 10 issues. I can't remember. I think it was the first 10. So what I did is when I got back home from vacation, I went on eBay. This is back in the day when you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna get the stuff. So I went on eBay. I bought like it was like 10 issues, like a big old lot, and it included the second print of #1 and the regular #1. I reread the story through the singles, and it still came back at 9.8, which is funny because I didn't grade this until Ken Lashley. I can't remember when he came to New Orleans, but funny story with this real quickly. Ken Lashley is a big Saints fan, which I'm a big Saints fan as well. If anybody who knows the Saints, WhoDat is works for the Saints. So when I met him, had to get it signed. I was shocked it came back in 9.8 after flipping through it a few times again. And funny thing is, the issue or cover 8 came back in 9.8, and issue I think it's at 5 where she becomes Black Panther in the story, Shuri. And when I got this signed years ago by Ken, which I say years ago, it's probably like it was before COVID, so you're talking about 5 years at least.
Yeah. Ken
Lashley goes, there's gonna be something happening with this, but I can't tell you. So way back when I met him, I kept telling people, hey, the storyline is for sure to be Black Panther. I'm just letting y'all know.
Right.
But they had to rush it, with the passing of Chadwick Boseman because that was supposed to be movie 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but this quick little story, this got me back into it.
That never got pressed or anything?
No.
Well, that's impressive.
That is
Get a
impressive.
9.8 from CBCS and never had it pressed. I mean,
and had Ken and Ashley flip through it, hold it, and he signed it up here. Yeah, so that was this one never got pressed at all.
I always find that very entertaining when you go to a con and you say, "Will you sign my book?" and all of a sudden they're like, "Wow, I haven't seen that in 20 years," and they're taking the book and they're and you're like, "Well, I was going to get it graded, but now that it's a 7.0, maybe not."
And if anybody hasn't read that storyline, I like the story. Yeah. It's a great story. It deals with injury of Black Panther, who's going to take over the mantle at the time. It's a lot of deception, like who it's been out since 2009. I could kind of spoil it, but it's not Namor like in the movies,
right?
That really injured Black Panther. So that was a good book.
Good one to start out with.
Yeah, so I don't know how it goes, Gary. I'm like nervous. This is like really
don't be nervous. We'll segue right into number 2, man. You're good.
All right, number 2. I'm like I said, I'm going to be going all over the place just because it's I might go back and forth to stuff. But let's go to this one. The reason why I picked this one is because of my movie name, and it is first appearance of Blade.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Everybody, if you've seen the Blade movie, when you think of Blade, you always hear that the music,
right?
And he had playing, he had the club scene, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
So this takes me back to like my movie loving side, seeing Wesley Snipes as Blade, seeing a character and in People can take it how you want it. To see a character that I can relate to that looks like me, as far as he's black. I can I like, oh man, it's cool to see on a big screen, and he's a hero.
Right.
He might be a violent hero, but he's a hero.
I'll say he was badass.
Yeah, but he was such a good. I mean, like the casting on that was perfect.
It was on point. That was at that time that you like, all right, we need besides somebody black, we need somebody who does martial arts, which he did. And he looked the part, like he could beat your what.
Right.
Exactly.
No, I thought that was an amazing
And then 2 came out, and 2 was amazing.
Oh yes,
directed by Guillermo del Toro. Oh my gosh,
that's one of those movies that the sequel could be arguably better than the first one. Right. And a lot of times the sequels go down. A lot of times sequels go down if you talk about movies. But that you can make arguments that was better than the first one.
Mm-hmm. And I think that was the first time too, like you saw vampires with their faces open like a predator.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You're like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And then you were in.
Yeah.
And it made more sense than the first one. With them, that's how they. To me, when I saw it, I said, that's how they probably should be biting people. Well, like they're sucking blood.
Right.
So it made sense. But I had to pull this one out. Looking at books, Gary said don't overthink it. I had to overthink it because this one, the movie meant a lot. So I got this book, and trust me, I didn't get it Comic Boom, people. And I got Comic Boom book. This is a book I had a long time ago.
Yeah, that's a great grade.
Yeah.
I actually have 2 copies, and I'm not a greedy person. When I get like 2 of a book, I always like, all right, let me just get. And a lot of people say, why you didn't keep both? Oh no, I'm not that. I don't know.
You know what? You don't need 2. You got 1.
And at the time, I didn't think I was gonna, have any children. But if I knew, I would have kept both. Here's your copy. This is my copy.
Right.
Hindsight's a terrible thing, right?
So it's just something. It is what it is at that point. But I'm gonna go swing back to something. Right. This one made the list. This one made the list because of my TV, the shirt. This is we're just gonna go into it. I'm showing this one.
Nice.
This is the TMNT Adventures, but this is the last issue.
Oh.
So the last issue, I had the first issue. I was like, man, I should show the first issue. And I'm thinking about everybody has the first issue. If you kind of collect, it's like it got high. A lot of people. But it would have been a cool story with the first issue because that was another book I didn't press either, and it came back at 9.8. But but I said I'm gonna show this one because a lot of people don't know about this one, and I have this one because of the print count being like 1,000 or something, like some crazy low print count. And another thing about this is this came out of Reggie Collects collection. If anybody knows Reggie sells stuff, and I just kept it in there. It says it on the back.
Nice.
So I was like, he had it at affordable price compared to eBay. And I said, man, it'd be cool getting like the last 5 issues of this run, which is hard if you're trying to do it the way I do my TMNT collecting, is find it out in the wild.
Yeah.
This is the only one I actually purchased, I guess you could say online. I don't have all of them yet. I only have 3 out of the 5 of the last ones. I have the odd numbers. I have 72. Then I think I go to 60 and then 68 or something. I know I'm missing.
Well, and the last ones get tough, right? Because it's low print run by then.
Yeah. It's so low print run that people who have them, they want to charge you a crazy price. And one thing I can tell you about TMNT collectors, we want certain things, but we're not going to pay certain things. Oh yeah, man, I love TMNT. I want to get that first print #1. Oh, I'm not paying $20,000. Nah. It's I might pay $200. That's how the TMNT collectors think. So this is just in that time frame when I was reading stuff at the at the bookstores, at the mall. So that's why I was like, it'd be great to get the last few issues of something.
Now you had the adventures, but were you a fan of the original, more adult run? Because
not until I got older. Not until I got older, because
that run's so good. It's
Oh
so
yeah,
dark.
as I got older and read it, I was like, man, this is good, and we'll get into that. Stay tuned.
Okay.
I have something to say,
That one was dark, but it was
yeah,
really good.
this one came out I was still young, but the original run came out when I was actually born.
Yeah.
Like it came out in '84. I was born in '84, so it's like it was in I was not even a thought about especially reading.
Yeah.
But this is that time frame. If people grew up at this time, this is that time frame you remember. The bandanas, everybody had their own color.
Mhm.
They had to the big old name plates, so you know who was who.
Right.
It's you had a whole transition of different things at that time frame that a lot of people, I'll say people my age kind of remember.
Exactly.
That's why I kind of brought that one out instead of number one, because it was like toward that end of that series that was so
Right.
great as a kid,
Well, and it's cool. Everybody see number one. It's cool to see a different one, you know?
Yeah.
All
So
right, number 4, sir.
I'll pick you know what? I'm gonna pick a book. I'll pick this. This is another book that got this is. So I saw my back into reading in 2009. So 2009, I also picked up this book.
Ah,
Nice.
So I bought this raw. Same thing happened, but I have all the trades behind me. You can't see them. They're like literally 1 through 10. I think that's 10. 1 through 10. I have all the trades. Another thing that I said, let me pick up this. Rob Guillory's from Louisiana. That's how I kind of fell onto it. And I wanted something to read when I was going on vacation. So I read it, got hooked, kept reading it, kept getting hooked. So I said, you know what, let me buy like the first issue. Then I saw the price of the first issue because like in that image, low print, like Walking Dead type of area.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'm after this weight. So eventually I found it. I can't remember how, but eventually I found it. I got it. It came back in '98. I was happy. I actually met Rob Guillory a couple of times, and I got a couple.
and you didn't cleaner press that one either?
No. I didn't.
Man.
All right, listen, you need to start a service where you just travel around and just touch other people's books.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
We have
I
to get the WhoDat blessing on it and then send it in.
I have to say, I've gotten, this is before I really knew how to grade, because as I've gotten stuff graded, I've learned how to grade. That's how I learned how to grade, getting stuff graded. And then I'm able to kind of look at a book, see the defects on the front and back, and I can kind of estimate a grade. And I've been pretty good with it. But this is before that time frame when I just said, this, I just looked it over and it looked clean. I said, I could tell something's wrong with it. You look, you look, right. I said, look clean. And I just bought it, got it graded, and it came back what it was. So, but yeah, great story. If anybody hadn't read Chew, get the trades. It's basically about, he's like it's not a detective, but he like works for the Food and Drug Administration. If I'm not mistaken. There's like a special agency, and anything he eats, drinks, whatever it is, it's like he can see what happened right before that animal person died. So like, say somebody gets killed, and he just licks their blood, he'll know exactly what happened to him.
Wow,
that's
and
cool.
I forgot what they called it in the thing, because I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
About it, I'm not gonna say it's a certain thing they say his ability is.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was freaking cool, and it was actually supposed to be picked up as a show, and it kind of fell apart. But yeah, he basically can just, it's basically almost like a future, a fortune teller, but he actually knew, like, horror
spin on
which is kind of hard because he ate a burger one time and he literally saw what happened to the cow.
No.
Yeah, how does he eat? I mean, I guess he eats a lot of vegetables, which have aren't sentient, so you wouldn't. Be impacted.
Yeah, but he can't. He eats. He still has to eat a little bit stuff, and he still can have the thoughts of who fixed the food as well. Say if somebody fixed the food that actually got killed.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a whole twisted thing. It's so cool. Like go ahead.
I wrote it down because every time I come on a show and somebody makes a recommendation, I write it down so I can.
Yes, she was awesome. Like, and they have a character in the story. I think it happens midway through. looks exactly like a younger Samuel Jackson.
Oh,
So I'm
man.
like,
Oh wow.
when they're talking about doing something with this, I said, man, you gotta get Samuel Jackson on this one. You gotta get it. The dude looks exactly like Samuel Jackson. But yeah, here's the
Now,
back.
did they
So
throw a
kind of see
couple
the
motherfuckers in the book too, or
Yeah.
no?
Is there a lot of
he looked like Samuel Jackson from Pulp Fiction. I am not lying.
wow?
It looked like they got a few scenes of guys holding the gun because they they carry weapons and stuff. He's like, you just want him to say, yes, you deserve to die. You want him to say something, but this is a great read. I had to pull. So those Black Panther and this one got me back into collecting from the reading aspect. You know, thanks to going on vacations and can't go to sleep on a plane. Because if I could fall asleep, I probably wouldn't get to it. But I like instead of sitting there and you just looking at the seat, I say, I got to do something, man. I'm gonna go crazy on a plane. I can't do it. So choose a great one. Get the trades. Don't try to get the singles because you'll pay an arm and a leg. But yeah, the trades is definitely cheap.
Yeah.
So I'll transition to go into something I bought that got me into collecting a certain series, but this is not even my book.
Huh.
I bought it for a specific purpose to either give to my daughter, but her mother claimed it. And this is Princess and the Frog.
Ooh,
Nice.
The movie adaptation, but it's signed by the voice actress who plays Princess Tiana.
Wow.
So this popped up on IG. I always watch IG claim sales because you never know what could pop up for a good deal.
Right.
So I saw this and said, man, this would be a cool gift to give to my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So when I pick it up, when I get it, and I told her my daughter and my wife was there, she's like, no, I'm claiming this one.
You pulled rank, huh?
So he's like, you don't even like none of this stuff. She said, but I like a Princess and the Frog. I said, okay, all right, I guess this is yours. So, and it's not. I don't think there's. Last time I checked, there was not many on the census sign.
Yeah.
Like literally maybe a handful.
Yeah, Chuck's hand,
so
fantastic movie, great
it's a
soundtrack.
great movie, great soundtrack. Surprisingly, a lot of kids or girls want to be Princess Tiana. They kept true to a lot of stuff with New Orleans, with the beignets, the food.
Right.
It was a good little story. Because a lot of times when you do stuff from certain areas, they can kind of not, they do New Orleans, they do New Orleans and they just do Mardi Gras. Yeah. And they didn't just do that. They did all kind of stuff. They still did add Mardi Gras, but they did it as a ball, which a lot of people don't know. They have Mardi Gras balls, which people dress up, pay a lot of money for. And I always tell people, if you want to do something at Mardi Gras, do a Mardi Gras ball. That's what you want to do at Mardi Gras. So this is something that it meant a lot because it got me into collecting Disney stuff. So I've been picking up a lot of Disney stuff that's been not on people's radar, and I got a feeling it might get expensive eventually.
I was saying it never hurts to pick up Disney.
Yeah, because you got comic-wise, Disney-wise, if people got to realize that's comics and Disney collectors. So that's why.
Are you getting the current Disney stuff like Gargoyles, Darkwing Duck, Scar?
I haven't. The funny thing is, I haven't been in the shop in a while because I've been busy and not feeling well and on vacations. If people follow me on Instagram, I went out the country for like a week. But I haven't actually picked. The only one I really want to pick up is Darkwing Duck out of this current stuff that's been going. But I want to pick it up as like a little trade. I want to I just want to get it so I can read it, flip through it, and then give it to my daughter so she can read it. Because if anybody knows kids, they're not very gentle with books. No. My daughter literally turned a book that was probably a 9.8 into a 1.5, and because I gave it to her, and she started flipping through it, messing, handling it, and I'm just like, well, luckily, that's what I bought it for you to do that. Because I'd have freaked out if it was something else. But
that movie has John Carpenter's The Thing connection.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Childs is in it. David Keith.
Oh.
Oh, Lord. You're stretching, man. You're stretching.
He's David Keith. He's awesome.
Yeah, so that's one that kind of holds dear to me because I kind of feel like it got my daughter into certain things. If anybody follows my daughter's drawing now, she's like, doing commissions for people and all kind of stuff. Like,
Oh,
I said, all right. I said, all right. But she's not as good as you know. I'll be honest. She's good for her age and what she's done, but I think she gets better and better. Honestly, I think she gets better and better. She's not like you're gonna see like a Del Otto or something, but for a person who didn't know how to draw, to teach herself how to draw, watch videos, and now tell me recently, I say, you're not watching a video to draw? She says, I got that in my mind. I don't need to know how the video no more. I said, oh, my bad.
Nice that she has a natural gift for it, though, right?
Yes, yeah. I'm happy she does, because if anybody knows kids nowadays, you want them to have something.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right.
And for me, it was sports growing up, but we didn't have as much technology.
It's something positive.
Exactly. We didn't have it. We didn't have technology when I was growing up. A lot of people, tend to forget. Like, I'm still old enough where we didn't have cell phones or computers. So I didn't have that until literally, I think my senior year, they might have had computer lab and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like I went through my whole life before I had all that. So it's nice to see her get into something like that. And I just want to encourage her. That's why I'm buying the books for her. I want you to draw, buying sketch pads. I just want to keep her into it. And I kind of feel like kind of brought her into it. So
and come on, Jim and I only had sticks and wood pull toys to play with.
and you know what? The words that you got to keep repeating: practice, practice, practice. If you go and look at any of these comic book artists, they got a stack of pads in the back that are this stacked up this high because they practice all the time.
Yes.
When
Yes. Yeah, so I just keep her tell her practice or draw what she wants.
Yeah.
She when she draws for people, she tries to ask them what animal they want. That's how she kind of started. And then now she's been drawing like Supergirl and all kind of stuff. So I'm like,
nice.
so I was like, just tell her keep going. You're gonna get better and better. So that's why I just love that aspect, because as you guys know, and a lot of the chat knows, it's not a lot of females that draw comics.
Right.
True.
We could probably name them all in one show if we really wanted to. But if you think about guys, you'll try to name them, but you're gonna forget probably 100. Exactly. So that's not saying that she's gonna get into that. I just wanted to stay in the art side. So this is gonna transition to my next book.
Oh yeah, number 6, sir.
Number 6, and make sure I be like Hialeah. Make sure I count it right. So this is 6, 7, 8.
Oh, don't worry, I count.
He keeps track of it. He's got a little pad over there. He keeps track of it.
I'm probably miscounted, but it's okay. It's okay. In case I did miscount, I'm not gonna put that one on the side. I'm gonna go with another good read. It's so good of a read. When I bought it slabbed, I had to buy it raw again. So, and it's this one.
Oh, nice. Love Luke Cage.
Hero for Hire, number 9. I just want to show people I read this book and I wanted to get it again because once I bought it here, and this is signed by John Romita, who actually is a co-creator of Luke Cage. And so this is signed by Roy Thomas, Steve Englehart, and John Romita. So definitely never go anywhere with this, because I'm not gonna get John. This is
it.
Straight, this is it. But I had to get
Roy
it raw
Thomas
again.
is up there now too.
Yeah, but I had to get it raw again, because if anybody hasn't read the story, please read it. It's hilarious. It's basically this cover is a lie. This cover that you see, Dr. Doom beating up Luke Cage, that ain't happening in the book. It's the other way around. It's the other way around. And it shows how powerful Luke Cage really is, especially if you tick him off. Or owe him money.
Right.
So you'll never know what a guy would do for $200 until you read this book. I mean, he steals something from his friends to go chase you down, beat up all your guards, beat you up for $200 and call you honey while he beating you up.
Sweet Christmas.
So I think he says "Sweet Christmas" in this story, but the line that gets me is, "Where's my money, honey?" That is the line that got me while he's beating him up. So this is if you haven't read it, please read it. You better have his money. Luke Cage. they gotta. This the Luke Cage I want to see. I want to see the Luke Cage. He just you don't want to tick him off, man.
Right.
Yeah.
He's literally hero for hire.
I love that one episode where they actually put him in the old digs. It was so cool.
Oh
yeah.
But he woke up and he's like,
I can't wear this.
he had to hurry up and switch his outfit. He's like, nah, this is not gonna work.
It just what a stroke of brilliance it was back then too to put him and Iron Fist together. Like you couldn't have two more different characters, and it's always the characters that are different that make the best teams.
Yes,
exactly.
You are correct. Yeah, you
I
are
mean,
correct.
whenever I got my hands on a Luke Cage and Power Man book, Luke Cage and Iron Fist book, Power Man and Iron Fist, I was so happy just sitting there reading them as a kid, and you ate them up.
Yeah,
and this is a story I read. Read in my time coming back, and I was like in collecting, and I was like, man, I got to get the first. I think it's the first 14 or 13, and I ended up accomplishing that this year. So I finished up like the first, all of them that are hero for hire. I got all of those issues.
Nice.
And then just to add a little icing on the cake, I do have the first issue when it changes to Power Man.
I got Luke Cage Power Man #1. It's a beat up copy. It's probably a 3.5 or a 4. I got it for 50 cents though.
Oh, good Lord. I'm still hunting for it. So
yeah, I can't beat that price.
No.
I'm like 50 cents.
But you don't see.
Exactly.
I mean, I didn't see a lot of them. A lot of Luke Cage books when we were at Heroes Con. I ended up picking up 2, but you always see the one, but you don't see the one.
You don't see a lot of Power Man and Iron Fist either.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I think the first 12 all have first appearances in it. That's not might be like some crazy first appearances, but they all literally all of the first 12 or 13 are keys.
Right.
Yep.
Like Cottonmouth in one and
Cottonmouth's actually later. I think it's issue 20 something.
Is
I
it?
think. Yeah, I have that issue because it's an off issue, but it's not that early. Claire Temple is #2.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually the only one that doesn't actually. This one with Doom is the one out of the first 13 that doesn't have a first appearance. It's just a great story. But they got Stiletto. They got weird names. Stiletto.
I wanted a Colleen Wing and Misty Knight spin-off show bad where they opened their Nightwing investigations.
That would have been dope.
Or the Daughters of the Dragon. Call it whatever you want. And,
they could have did them and the Heroes for Hire combined.
And I wanted Night Nurse to get her own show too.
Because they always worry about shows that might not have enough storylines.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Do both. First episode could be the daughter, the Daughter of the Dragon. Then they do Heroes for Hire. And then they end up crossing over because the storyline connects.
Right.
Come on, Marvel and Disney, what you're doing a job for you.
That's what we need. That's what the world needs is more Rosario Dawson and everything.
Oh yeah. Playing that nightmare.
I am waiting for that Ahsoka show to drop so bad.
She's my celebrity crush.
And I think
she's everybody's celebrity crush.
She was mine. That's why I had to meet her in Dallas. I'm not going to go deep into that because I don't want to have video evidence of me admitting that.
Folks, he does have the restraining order.
I just didn't know I could take a picture when I met her. I was mad about that when I found out later. When people, that's how y'all want taking pictures in the line. Oh, they let us. I said, what the? I was so mad. All right. But I want to shout somebody out because I have a book that would have been on this list, but due to CGC not moving a walkthrough book as fast as it should be, it literally was pressing and cleaning, grading it for 2 weeks. So if anybody wants to look the time frame for walkthroughs, you'll know you'd be ticked off too. So I want to shout out Chad RCG. If people know Chad RCG, he's the guy who was in the community, passed away. I traded a book with him, and that book would have been definitely on this list, which was Ultimate Fallout for the Jeremy variant. It was a fair trade. He got Iron Fist 9-4 that was double signed, Stan Lee and Roy Thomas.
Wow.
At that time, Ultimate Fallout 4 was not as crazy.
Right.
He'd have knew that he would have traded him. But he knew something was good about the character because he traded me the 9.4 that was signed by Bendis and not the 9.6 that was unsigned. So he knew something. So shout out to Chad RCG because that book I got it double signed at Dallas. It's not going anywhere in the collection. My mission is to anytime they got people who worked in the book, I'm gonna try to get it signed again. So just to keep that going. In honor of Chad, because Chad wasn't, nice enough to trade me that book. He didn't have to, but luckily I had a book he didn't have.
Nice.
and it was signed by Stan Lee, so that's really why he wanted it. Man, I don't have a Stan Lee signed book,
Right?
Especially on the key. And speaking of nice people, I'm kind of cheating because this is a 2-for-1. The reason why it's a 2-for-1. The reason why it's a 2-for-1 because it was sent. This is like my first AOK, and my only AOK, but this guy sent me AOKs twice. So we call him Doc. It's Man Cave Comics.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's in our show called The Hunt, and he was like his mission was to try to get everybody. I'm gonna AOK all you guys. You're not gonna know. So he knew I was collecting African American characters, kind of slid into really just characters of color and now women characters, but he knew I didn't have this book and the other book to go along with it. So he sent me both of these books.
Wow.
So I had a chance to upgrade this book and I didn't because this one means a lot. The Lobo one, I didn't know a lot about it until he sent it and I looked at it and I was like, wait, the origin and first appearance of Lobo, first African American character to headline a title.
Yeah.
In case people didn't hear that in the chat, the first African American character to headline a title, not to be in a title, to headline.
Right.
That's
and I never heard of that book before.
It's
what year is that?
1965. 1965. So it's not. It's old, but it's not like it came out in the 40s or 50s, like some people probably would think.
Right.
So that just tells you what how long it took for an African American character to headline. They only had 2 issues. I finally accomplished that this year as well to get both of the issues. Only thing is my second issue graded a little higher than this one. I was kind of hoping they both graded a 4.0, but that one graded a 4.5, which is not always a bad thing. But
Matt Wood said he almost grabbed that book this weekend when he was up at the fest with us at the Empire Comic Fest.
I'm in a little group on Facebook. They show this book a lot, and they when they go on eBay, they don't last. They don't last. No. So if you do want to collect this character, I would say just be on the lookout and grab it when you see it because somebody else will. I promise you. Like Matt said, he was going to pick up this past weekend. Don't worry, somebody else bought it. Somebody else bought it. I'm just being honest. Somebody else bought it. The issue 2 is actually the one harder.
Have you heard of a character named Salimba yet?
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. I'll have
Don't
to
send me down
send
the
you.
rabbit hole.
It's not a big rabbit hole. It's not a big rabbit hole. She only had 2 books out. Then it was put in a collected edition. Really good. I'll tag you in some of the videos I made of her.
Okay, yeah, definitely do that. Because my mission is I'm slowly getting. I usually have this one displayed up there.
And Chuck is saying issue 2 is a bear to find.
Yeah, it is. But I have it now, Chuck. I have it now. And actually, it's how you buy stuff and then all of you see multiples of it. Guess what? When I bought it, then I saw like two other copies. So,
yeah.
This one. This one. It's like I never could find number 2. Then I buy number 2 from an IG seller. I can't tell you the IG seller because I'm just I'm keeping that one close to my chest.
Your IG honey hole, right?
Right.
Yeah, he actually is an IG honey hole that I actually told one close friend that I met on YouTube, and he's bought a couple of things from him. I was like, yeah, I can't tell too many other people because he's very frugal. Yeah, no, if he's buying stuff, I can't tell too many. So I number 2 I actually found from him. And then the next week, he had another number 2. That's why I was kind of saying when you buy one, you see multiples.
Yeah.
He had another one like a week later. And then I saw 2 or 3 on eBay. I said, what is going on here? Well, I couldn't find this book, now I found it. But yeah, number 2 is very hard to find. But this one means a lot.
Very
Thank
cool
you, Man
books.
Cave, Doc. I had to throw together because they were sent together, and they're gonna stay together, Doc. So you don't have to worry about that. Even if I want to upgrade, I'm still gonna keep these. So I just have 2 copies. So I don't know what number we're on. We'll go
Number
next. Number 8. Let's go. You know what? Let's do this one because I want to do another book before it. Actually, no. Yeah. I'm gonna do this one. Yeah, I'm doing this one because I want to make sure to keep the TMAT going. So we got,
there you go.
We got the Raphael number 1. I bought this from my LCS. Well, it's currently my LCS because when I got back into collecting, I was like, man, what am I gonna buy? We couldn't find out it's really on like literally a handful of LCSs in my driving range.
Right.
Like I want to really say it's really less than 5. So it's like 3, maybe 4. You can kind of say one of them is 4, but I don't really consider that one. But I don't have that many around me. Mm-hmm. So I walk into them. They had this one. They had issue 1, but it was a 3rd print. They had a whole bunch of the TM10. Like, so you know what? Let me buy this one. Come to find out, you can't see it. I'll try to make it a little closer, but it's signed by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird on the inside.
Oh.
Yeah. If anybody knows, Peter Laird does not sign anything. So if he ever does a CGC signing,
Kevin Eastman's the opposite. He signs everything.
Kevin Eastman signs everything. Peter Laird doesn't sign anything. And he only went to one convention when he was going to convention. It was like a small Connecticut convention that literally, like, it was like, when I say small, it was like in a little gym or something. It was small, like small convention. And I might have the wrong state, but it was a little small convention. So when I found this, I remember the story. And the story basically is just like the movie, but shortened. You know, they start off as enemies, and then they tell you the story in the cover, and you become friends,
right?
Because they're fighting together. So just to have icing on the cake signed by those two guys, and I actually did press and clean this one.
See, and it's only a 9.4. If you'd have just left it alone, it'd have come back a 9.8. What's wrong with you, man?
No, this taught me a lesson. And I'm giving little people a little insight on magazines. Yeah. CGC is lenient on magazine covers. They are lenient on magazines, and they're very lenient on TMNT magazine books, just because of the paper they use. But yeah, this is a great story. You know, they beat each other up for half the issue and they become friends at the end. And the second print's even better cover, like not better cover. I don't think it's a better cover. It's just a funnier cover in my opinion. Right. Because second print, Raphael has an Uzi in his hand.
Oh my god!
He has an Uzi in his hand, and no, he has an Uzi in his hands. Casey Jones has a gun. They're together, so it's like this is the second print. People already read it, so people already knew. Mm-hmm. So they're together on a rooftop. They're like, man, why they got these guns? Who are they after? Then you look on the reverse side. They got like a dozen guys with guns, and one of the guys has like a backpack of guns. You're like, how do you can't shoot all those guns? So it's like a little. That's why I say it's a hilarious cover. And like that's so you gotta if you get the second print, it's funny because you look at it, you're like, come on now, you got more guns in your hands. But it's a funny story, good story. It's one of those. I flipped through it, I read it, and like came back a 9.4. I was surprised. If I wouldn't have been so manhandled, it probably would have been a 90, like you guys said. Or if I wouldn't have pressed it, it would have been.
It was all that hugging and sleeping that got it down to the 9.4.
Yeah.
All right, number 9, sir.
Number 9. Let's go back into a book that I had to get before they announced any casting it in a movie, and I'm happy I did because this book got crazy.
Oh Lord. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I'm having palpitations.
Yeah, I even got the stand for it.
Palpitations.
Nice.
I went all out.
Yeah. That's my grill. I've been searching for years.
Yeah, so
I'm still looking.
Hey, you're gonna find it. What I've been telling people: be patient.
Yeah,
take the time. You will get it. And a lot of people who I've told it to listen to me gotten this book. You will get your grill. I just happened to get it at this grade before it got crazy because I can't afford this price. It's great at this price right now. I'm just be honest.
Yeah. Right now, I'm looking for a sugar mama to help me out with that.
This thing got to. I need a
baby.
sugar mama. No, you got to lower that voice a little bit. Hey, how you doing? How you doing today? So I'll help them with the groceries. That's a good place to be.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah. You all right? All right. Nice to meet you. Thank you very much. You're a nice young fella.
Now, how many stands have you invested in? I got two slab stands here, and I got 2 more on the way that I ordered.
I only have 3 because this was a starter home for me. So actually, I only have a corner in the house.
Right.
And because I bought this and then I end up falling in love and getting married and having a child. So it's like it kind of happened that way. So eventually, I'll be able to display them more. But I have 3 stands, and the funny thing is, I have a stand for a FF1 and an X-Men one, and I did accomplish having all those. I have those books to go with those stands. So
I got my Conan one.
Oh, nice.
But I want to get one that's like. This is like WhoDat Comics or something like that. I want to get something.
I do. I have a Gary B, the casual comic.
Yeah, I do want to have one like that. And a quick story behind this book: I bought this in a old Gen 1 label.
Oh, okay.
Had pencil writing on the back. Was not pressing clean, obviously, because you had pencil writing on the back.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started dabbling into the pressing and cleaning, I said, "Oh man, this can get a bump." Guess what? The guy pressed and cleaned it. It looks 10 times better than it originally did. It came back the same grade as the 8.5. I might have. You can see. Probably maybe to see this. I think I still have the video on my YouTube.
Yeah.
But it's I looked at it and said, "Man, this is beautiful. Why did it come back the same grade?" And then I turned around.
Feeling the love.
Yeah, they weren't feeling the love because if anybody knows anything about this book, 8.5. is great, but if you get anything above 8.5, that is like epic.
Yeah.
You don't see, you don't find. I don't even know what else to say.
That's the highest I've seen.
Yeah, I don't know how else to say it, but anything higher than an 8.5 is like a unicorn.
Well, look at it. I mean, look at the cover. Yeah. I mean, there's so many. You can have so many chances of spine ticks along the edge and that black border up the top.
What killed me on mine is it's almost like marble chipping. Yeah. But it's like color chipping.
Yeah.
That's the only issue with this book. It has like a little kind of, it looks like when you look at it, it's like, oh man, it has some like color. It's like really like a little color loss.
Right. And that's, I think the highest I saw before that one was like a 6. Somebody showed a 6 one time, and I thought that was extremely high because everything else I've seen is always like a 5 or a 4 or something like that. I got it. It's barely held together, but I got it, and you're like...
He has it in a 6.5, and he was happy to get that.
Who?
Dan from Out of the Panel Comics.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. I got so many facsimiles, homages. I need the first print. That's what I'm looking for. And I will have it one day.
You're going to get it, man. You're going to get it. Stay in touch with me. If I do see one, I definitely will throw it your way. So definitely... I don't know if we follow each other on IG. If you have IG, I found stuff for people before, and I always tell people when I find stuff, I said, these people, they do payment plans. And I love a good payment plan. I love a good payment plan. Like I've been getting kind of spoiled with these payment plans, these 3 to 6 month payment plans. I said, man, y'all gonna get me in trouble.
and CBizzle here has really good kidneys, so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He can take care of that.
You only need one too. You only need one.
That's right.
I only need one. But if I ever do see one, because it happened, I always bump into these things. Like not too long ago, like I did see one at a LCS one time. It didn't last. It was a low grade, but like a lot of people say, low grade better than no grade. And it was for a good price. So yeah, definitely let me know, man. I'm always bumping the stuff.
Right, they're out there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same. And I got my low grade Black Cat first appearance. Right, it's only a 3.5, and it's not an expensive book in 3.5. But I had my first appearance of her.
Yeah,
so I'm happy.
So
there you go.
I hate to leave on this note. I have some other things I have to do.
He got scared for his kidneys.
Yeah.
I gotta.
No, that's why. Hey, that's why I had to show that book because I saw what he put in the private chat. I gotta show him this one. I gotta show this.
I gotta go to Kroger and find me a sugar mama.
Yeah.
Remember,
we knew you had to go.
you hit him with that
jumping
voice.
on.
Yeah,
hit him with that voice and say, how you doing? Yeah, nice. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah, y'all take it easy.
Like your deep Barry White.
You
There you go.
All right, number 10, sir.
Number 10, we're gonna go with another big book because and I'm torn for
We have a blue wrench battle going on.
Oh my god!
I think take all the wrenches away, Gary. They all
torn.
Big pants about it here.
Take them all away. So I'm torn between what book I want to show because one of them is because I did miscount. So let people know I did miscount. One book is this book.
Oh, excellent.
But the other book, this book oversees them all. And without this book and without the tenacity of a certain person, we wouldn't have that book or a lot of other books.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna go with that one just because it's the Giant Size X-Men one means a lot to me personally. The cartoon, I religiously watch the cartoon. Religiously.
Oh yeah.
But I know the history now, and I know without him doing this,
yeah,
I wouldn't have the opportunity to get the other stuff. And that's why I kind of choosing how I'm choosing. The Giant Size means a lot, but I know this without this one, I wouldn't even have the Giant Size.
No,
it's such a beautiful. It's such
and
a
it's a family book. Yeah, it's a family book. I'm really big on my family.
Yeah.
It's also
So when, if you don't mind asking, when did you get that one? Was that recent or is that a couple years?
No. This is years back. Years back. I'm trying to think because this is when Jim Mint. A lot of people know Jim Mint. This is when Jim Mint was not even a one sub on YouTube. That's how long ago this was. Okay. This is when Jim Mint was just IG Jim Mint. Right. And he was running what they like to call his waffles. So that was Jim Mint.
Yeah.
This is Florida Jim Mint, not Texas Jim Mint.
Right.
So yeah, this is how long ago this book.
Yeah, I think I saw it like I want to say it came like you said. I only have 2 comic book stores that are real close, and we happened to go into the other one of them, and he said, "You guys want to see something?" And then we were like, "We always want to see something." And he dropped X-Men 1 and the Fantastic Four, and I'm trying to remember the other one, Spider-Man 1. I mean, like, boom, 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 and they're all raw, and I'm just like, can I touch it? And he's like, yeah, you can pick it up. And I picked up the Fantastic Four and was just like, and I knew what I was holding. I'm just like, he goes, you want to buy it? I'm like, I want to make love to it, but I can't. And I put it down and I walked out. I said, I want to buy it, but I will still be married too. So I'm not buying it.
I want to say this is when I got this probably was over 10 years.
Yeah.
And I get lost with time, but what reminds me of the years is COVID.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't remember COVID is really 4 years old.
Right.
Because it's COVID-19.
Right.
2019. So that's why I kind of I think it's 10, but it might be 15 years, honestly, when I got this. Like, but it's in that range. Yeah. It's in that range. I had that FOMO, if you want to say, but it wasn't fear of missing out. It was that FOMO of, should I sell this? This is going for crazy money.
Yeah, well, that's why. It's kind of why I asked that too, because even 6 years ago, when I just threw out a price to him, he just laughed, and I said, "Yeah, I know. I wasn't going to give you that money. It's just I was going to see if you were even going to say anything." He's like, "No." I think he went and got it graded, sold it for buku bucks. Even back then, 6 years ago, that's still a big money book.
Another little side story. That's what I love about this book. My wife's birthday is August 9th. When I got this book in the mail, it was the day before her birthday, August 10th, and it has a date stamp, August 8th.
Nice.
And I didn't know that was there. I didn't know that was there until I got it. Wow. And I was like, this was meant to be.
Now, since you submit a lot of stuff, and I don't submit anything, I always buy it from somebody, or I get somebody else to do it. But do they take a hit on that with the date stamp and the grade?
If it's an older book, no.
Okay, because I have like that that Iron Man. Shoot, I don't even remember what the number is, but it's that one issue where it has I'm drawing a blank. The rings.
Mandarin.
Yeah, the Mandarin guy on the front, and he's shooting the Iron Man. It's like issue 22 or something, but it has this like big date stamp on there, and I'm like, wow, if I send, because it's beautiful, but I want to send it in, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want it to come back like a 1 because of this date stamp here.
What? And what's his name? Matt Nelson actually talked about it. As long as the date stamp is kind of goes with the age of the book, like it's not somebody just did it recently.
Oh yeah, no, it's dated like 1968 or something.
Yeah,
like
so
that.
He said they don't hit it for that. And that's how I kind of learned from Matt Nelson.
Nice.
Him saying that.
Nice.
Now, WhoDat, are you familiar with the Shopverse on Instagram?
No.
Shop for Comics. He's drawn a bunch of us as our favorite heroes. He wants to know if he could draw you as Blade and add you to the Shopverse.
Ooh. Yeah,
thumbs up.
Thumbs up. If I had more hands, I'd give it 4 thumbs up.
And Shop, while we got you here, you also need to include this one here in the Shopverse.
Oh, Stephanie.
Got to get Stephanie in there too.
Adam,
so add Stephanie and WhoDat.
Doesn't she draws, right?
Well, she sculpts and draws.
Okay, yeah. Cause I could have swore I saw something. Yeah. So So thumbs up, man.
She's got so many talents, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you like this, Madam Bless. If you have any, I always ask people who do art stuff or art or crafts. If you have any tips that I can pass along to my daughter, please let me know. I try to. When anybody tells me something, I do tell her. So if you have any tips, anything, let me know. Let me know.
Not to plug my channel, but we did a whole show featuring Stephanie's art that your daughter might enjoy.
Cool.
So it was just a special called Meet the Artist, and we went through and all we did was showcase her and her art.
Yeah, because I could have swore I saw her on Sands' channel.
Competing against what's his name? I know you're talking about.
Who she. But Naman and Otaku also did her on their channel as well.
Yeah.
So, but definitely you can do it. I'm not gonna say no. That's an honor and privilege. That
Shopverse is getting big.
It is.
Yeah. So, if you really want to save Princess Peach for my daughter, do not do somebody else's Princess Peach. So what we got? We got
number 11 with a extended personal story attached.
So you want to see the personal story one is so much better than the last one. But
all right. So let's reverse it. Show us your spec pick, and then we'll go personal story.
Yeah. I'll go to spec because I actually have a lot of stuff that I kind of spec on, but I don't. I get and how I spec is I get 2 copies, maybe 3. But what happens I don't like to hoard stuff, so I'll end up selling one of them and then getting another one back. So it's weird how I spec because I'm not a big spec. Oh, let me get a short box of this stuff,
right?
Which I should have been because I don't want to tell you the story about Hulk 181 because I had like 10 copies of that book, and I'd probably be retired if I'd have kept them. I had like 2 8.5s. I had a Mark Julis 7.0. And I got pictures to prove it. If anybody wants to see my IG, I could post some throwback Thursdays of these books. But so this is my spec. Well, my spec pick. I have a graded copy, which I'm gonna unbox. So if you want to see that on my CGC unboxing, just let me, just come follow me. I'll do that probably tomorrow, I'll probably do it tomorrow. But this is a great spec, affordable
Mr.
spec.
Sinister, huh?
Mr. Sinister. I've been trying to sell this book, and what I've decided, because I think my one that I got graded and signed by Mark Silvestri. I met Mark in Dallas. I think it came back a good grade. So I'm probably gonna send this off to CBCS, just because.
What, the signature verification?
Yeah, because I should have just got it graded with the other one. But I'm kind of scared. Always scared to send multiple books of the same book to CBC, because sometimes they get lazy and give you the same grade.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be good or it could be bad. I knew one of them was high, super high grade, which that's what I sent, and I knew this one was like 9.4 probably.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't send it. The more of the story. So I'm probably gonna send it to CBCS because I want to get some more CBCS stuff because I like CBCS cases. But yeah, this is my spec. It's a great villain. X-Men. We know they're gonna eventually come to the MCU. I mean, to me, in my mind, the biggest villains, not counting
Magneto.
Sentinels. No, not counting Sentinels. I was like, Magneto's like number one.
Yeah.
I don't really count Juggernaut as a big villain because he's like almost like a B-list. He's like a B-list.
Yeah, no, he's not. No.
I think this could be in that tier because of the writing of Chris Claremont of that up there with Magneto.
Right.
And they could do a lot of stories with this. They could do a lot of different stories with this.
And he's got a killer look. So his character is great.
Yeah. And then my interaction with Mark Silvestri with this book was actually great. I wish I could have filmed it because I brought it up to him. He goes, "Man, this is brought me. He bring back some memories with this book." I said, yeah. I said, this is I like all the covers he did, and he's like, yeah. When I did this book, and people started bringing me to get it signed, I had no idea why people wanted this book signed. He said, and then I open up the book. He opens up. I don't know if he opened up the one I got graded or this one, but he opens up the book and he goes, "It's because of this guy." And it's like the first page,
right?
Sinister. And I said, yeah, man, he's an awesome character, and I like how the kind of backstory. I like everything about him. And I said they could do a lot with him in movies or TV,
sure,
or both.
Right?
And he's like, yeah, but I never thought that would have been
right.
He goes, I've done better covers for X-Men. Character.
Yeah, he goes, I've done better covers for X-Men. He said, but this one, a lot of people want to get signed. And then I figured it out. And he doesn't charge a lot when you want to get it signed. I thought, it's going to be a big premium. It's like only $15. That's his premium.
That's really respectable.
Yeah, that's his premium to sign this book. I think everything else was $10. But it was extra $5 for this one. But I got a great story with it as well. And I asked him the same question about art. And he said, just keep her into it and buy stuff, buy whatever she wants and let her keep drawing and just keep encouraging her. And I was like, that's, it's great. It was great advice and great interaction that I had with him, because it could have been bad how long he was there signing stuff because the line was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So like he could have just been like, whatever. He's
got to be getting older now. He's been around a while.
Yeah,
but he looks good.
And what? They appreciate it more now that they're older too.
Yeah. So, but this is an affordable spec, and it's a great character, good first appearance. If you like first appearances, you like X-Men, or you like Marvel.
I mean, it's not Dazzler, but we'll allow it.
Yeah.
I have Dazzler, but it didn't make the list. It didn't make the list.
Yeah, I gotta go. This guy's a chump, man. He doesn't like Dazzler.
First rule of this channel is Dazzler always makes the list.
Yeah. And that's the one thing that really bugs me a lot of times. It's like you're showing the first Mr. Sinister, and he's nowhere on the cover at all. Right. And I can't stand that.
That's why he was like, I don't know. He's like, but when you open the page, he's on the first page.
He's on the first page, right? Yeah, I understand.
But if you take that first page and put that on the cover, this book would be probably $200.
Yeah.
Because if anybody's seen that first page, it is freaking terrifying, great, and all into one. Because it's like, that's a villain.
Right?
So like, if he'd have did that, you wouldn't be able to afford this book, I don't think, because that's the type of things that you're kind of good that he's not on the cover, because if he was, it'd be a lot more. But this is good. You can get this book somebody sold this book on a 9.0 copy unsigned, but it was an 9.0 copy on Instagram for $30.
Yeah,
Wow.
It was
sure.
raw. It was raw. So it could be better than a 9.0, but he said it's
Yeah.
at least a 9.0, probably better. That's why I chose this book, because it won't break the bank.
It's affordable. Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
affordable, and if you want to dip your toe in a spec, it won't cost you. It just costs you like you're going to get a double cheeseburger with fries at the store. That's all. Just don't get the double cheeseburger.
That's a sad state of affairs we're in. That you're not lying.
So
I
I
mean,
always tell
food
people,
is
you want to get that book, just don't get cheese on your wobble.
right.
Just don't get cheese on your
Just don't
wobble.
like it. You got the dinner one night. You're fine.
Don't even get the dinner. Just get the whopper.
Yeah.
So that's why I said that one. I wanted to do that one before this one, because this one, if anybody knows me, we're going into the last book. I wore this shirt for a reason.
All right. I'm ready for this story.
All right.
Yeah.
I sold an AF-15 to get this book.
Is that a first print too?
Yes.
Yeah, it has to be. Are you kidding?
Right.
Yeah.
For an AF-15, you better be getting a first print.
Yeah. If
It
it hadn't been, I'd have
was a
been.
9.0 white pages first print. I sold it to make people feel better. Who's like, you sold AF-15? I sold the AF-15 1.0 with tape all on spine.
Yeah.
Makes you feel a little bit better, and makes you feel a little bit better when you look at the price comparison. I'm still winning. I'm winning. So it hurt to get rid of the AF-15, but when I got this book, this was a $9,000 book. AF-15 1.0 was over $9,000.
Yeah.
And it's probably dropped some now, but and this came in a package deal. I ended up getting this and the Journey and Mystery 83. So don't feel too bad. I got like 2 for 1. Right. I traded one of my Tomb of Dracula 10s. It was a whole big old deal. I have a picture of it on my IG if you want to see it with me and Resurrect Comics.
Man, that had to be a sweaty deal.
If anybody knows me, well, my wife definitely knows me. When I'm doing big purchases, I am sweating. I am fumbling words. I'm nervous. I don't want to do it.
Right.
But
big money.
Yeah. But I had a goal that I wanted to get this book. And I said the only book I had at that time that was worth a lot was that book. And I really like Spider-Man, but I don't love Spider-Man. I love the Turtles. That's what I grew up with. Yeah. And I had a Turtles curtain thing in my bedroom when I was a kid. I had the sheets. I had all that stuff. It was TMNT all out. Literally a memory I have that we moved out of my parents when we moved out of the house and got to a bigger house. My parents left my curtain of TMNT in the house. I have a memory of that.
Devastated.
Yes, I was. So, but so I had to make the deal, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna move from the AF-15, hold on to the money, and eventually I'll find one at a convention. And literally within a few months, like because I went to the convention in January of like a few months from me doing that, and ended up finding this book from Resurrect Comics. They actually had this and a 9.6. Which I kind of wish I would have just went for the 9.6. I'm just saying I could have went for the 9.6 with the money.
And it's amazing the price difference when you can barely tell the difference in the book, right? It's insane.
Yeah. So I kind of, if I'd have knew what I know now and I know what was going to happen, I would have just went for the 9.6.
Even when you see it 9.6 to 9.8, the book's double the price.
Right.
And you can't even tell a difference.
Yeah. So yeah, this means a lot to me. I grew up with the Turtles. Then, as I said, as I gotten older, talking about reading the story, this story is crazy. They literally make Shredder choose between killing himself or we're gonna kill you. That's basically his choice. I forgot what it's called in Japanese.
Seppuku.
Yeah,
you have to commit seppuku. Yeah.
They said you do that or we're gonna kill you. And they gave him the choice. They thought he was gonna do it, and he tried to hurt them. They threw him over a ledge and dropped a grenade. It wasn't a trash thing from like on a movie.
Right.
They didn't do the grenade because that'd have been little. It was already a dark movie. If you really look at TMNT 1 movie, it's already dark. But then he's like, we can't make it that dark. I mean, drop a grenade.
We're gonna make sure he's dead.
Yeah.
See, I was never a fan of the Kitty Turtles. I liked that first run with how dark it was.
Yeah.
And just a hard black and white.
Yeah. That first movie got me into this run with the darker kind of storytelling and so I love both. Especially having a young child because we're gonna go see the new TMNT movie together.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be great. Like this is gonna be. I'm just gonna be smiling, and it's not gonna be because of the movie. The movie could be terrible, and I'm still gonna be smiling. Just
a shared experience.
It's shared experience something I grew up with. My daughter got to have that experience. It might be not the exact same, but it's still something that kind of I grew up with, and she can see. And she knows I'm a big Turtles fan because she bought me like socks before for like Christmas and all kind of stuff. TMNT. That's why I got all kind of stuff TMNT. But yeah, this book means so much to me. That's why when I had to do that deal for the AF-15, AF-15 was ugly. Just to let people, it was an ugly book. It was ugly. I wouldn't.
And then when you look, every time you look at that, you're just like,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I just look at it and I look at it and I go, man, should I take a chance? And I'm like, nope. Because when I bought it from Reese, they're like, yeah, we didn't press and clean it, but I was like, I'm not gonna take that chance.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I only thing I will be doing, I will be get a new holder. As anybody could tell, this is ridiculously oversized, and the old holders you can. I don't know if you can hear that.
Oh yeah, the old holders are horrible.
Yeah,
They're clicky clacky the whole time.
Yeah, so like I'm definitely the only thing I'm gonna do, I will be getting a new holder for it, a more sturdy holder. Eventually, I just haven't had the heart to send it in because it's one of those. It's like out of my comic book, this is like the baby, and I'm gonna feel weird when I send this in. But I'm gonna feel even weirder because I'm gonna send it in with issue 2 as well to get
think of it as a field trip. Your kid's on a field trip. Your book's on a field trip. It's coming back.
Chuck,
just on a field trip.
There are ugly AF-15s, but you can always find an AF-15. You can't always find a first print of TMNT 1.
Right.
That's how I kind of looked at it when I made the deal.
Right.
I could find the AF-15 again. Not saying I might not be able to afford it, but I can find another one again of this. I might not have another opportunity to get this. And thinking hindsight 2020 now, when you do a price comparison, I'm not buying this. In today's market, even with the downturn, I don't have $20,000 to $30,000.
So that being said, one of my friends messaged me, and I'm going to say this would have been last year around September, and asked me, did I know it? Because she knew I knew about comics, and I said, yeah, what's up? And she goes, well, I have somebody at work that says they have a bunch of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle books, and they're asking like $25,000 for issue 1, and I'm like, well, I said, I know comics, I don't know the turtle market. I said, but that just seems really high for a raw. And I said, maybe if it was graded, but a raw?
Yeah. I can tell you that is high for a raw. Yeah. It had the pristine raw.
Yeah.
Then I can see, like, when you look at it, like, man, there's nothing wrong with this. You're like, man, this is like a 9.6. If you think it's at least that high, then I can understand it. But that's too high for a raw, even in today's market, unless it's that high of a grade.
Yeah.
Especially when anything can happen in shipping.
Yeah. That's one of those books that, like, if it's that high of a grade, I'm flying to CGC or CBCS and handing it to them.
Right. I just couldn't see, like, when she asked me, I just told her, I said, I don't know that market very well, but I feel like that's really high for a raw. I feel like if it was graded and if they really want to get that money, they should send it in and get it graded.
Yeah, and and this is for everybody. Anybody can use this since you brought it up. The TMNT 1 first and second print on the T, you said a little bit of blood.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the first and second print looks. The third print has more blood on the T.
Oh.
So that's how you can tell the third print away from the other two. But the only way to tell the first or second print is opening the book. So, you know, I always tell you look for that. You can get excited, but don't get too excited till you open the book.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, so that's a way to tell from the third print from the others. But the first three prints were all magazines. The biggest difference is that one.
But if you do crack that, WhoDat, send it to CBCS. Their new slabs. I've seen the new magazine slabs for CBCS, and I have a new slab for CGC here. Now, the new slab for CGC for magazines, it's good. It's very much improved. But the CBCS one feels like a brick, like nothing's getting into that book. Like you could club a whole family of baby seals with that sucker.
Yeah.
Trust me, I love CBCS's cases. If I could cross it over and keep the same grade, I would do it. But there's no guarantees.
Yeah.
And I've already did a crossover with CBCS recently and lost a whole grade point on a book.
Oh,
I was ticked off because it was a John Byrne signed book. It's not an expensive book, but they kind of manhandled the book because I got a ding on the back that wasn't there. And I was like,
that happened to me with CGC.
Yeah.
They bent the corner. And I know there was no bent corner when I sent it out.
Actually, I have the book right next to me too. It's like this one right here. It's Marvel Team-Up signed by John Byrne.
Oh,
and
nice.
They got a big ding on the back. You can actually kind of see it right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that little light, kind of like
it's almost like a wave. Yeah.
Yeah, but that wasn't there. That it was an 8.5 from CGC, and it said, name written in the first page. If they would have said it was John Byrne, I just kept it in there. But they didn't say that, so I was like, let me get it verified to make sure. My buddy Erod, who pressed that book back in the day when I did it, he's like, oh man, I forgot to tell you that was signed by John Byrne, and I was like, I sent it to CGC, and I was like, oh man, we could have sent that to CBCS,
right?
So so when I did it, they manhandled the book, and I'm kind of like, come on, guys. So I would probably never send this to get cross graded, but I'm definitely going to send it for reholder because this case, like just grabbing it too hard, you'll crack it in half. So yeah, this is the one for me. This is my holy grail. This is what you call a holy grail. A lot of people might say.
Congratulations!
Yes, congratulations.
And quick side story: when I got this book, I completed my TNT Volume 1 like around the same time. When I got that and completed my Volume 1 run, I was like kind of like in a rut. What I'm going to collect now? I didn't know I didn't know.
Sure.
I was like. And then I started picking up on African American characters. I was like, oh, cool. I was like, but it still wasn't enough for me. And then when I had a child, I was like, it kind of clicked. I was like, oh, I'm going to start getting first appearance of females or female keys.
Right.
And then it kind of got my motor running for getting other books, if that makes any sense, besides the ones I just like. And that's how I kind of been on this tangent of getting, oh, that's the first appearance of Mary Marvel. I'll take that. That didn't make the list. That didn't make the list. I'm sorry. It should have made the list.
Right. You got to have something to chase, though, right?
But that's what I've been chasing now, and the
chase is fun.
Yeah, the chase is fun, and I love that I'm chasing with a goal because all of those books I kind of get for her, that's kind of like her little nest egg. Like you can keep them, you can sell them, you can pass them to your children. You can do whatever you want with them. When I'm going, but these are your books. The books that I have, like Turtles 1 and stuff like that, that's kind of like for me. And
that's being buried with me.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I'm one person that's going to say it's definitely not getting buried with me. Yeah. And I'm definitely gonna, be like, hey, you do what you want with it, but this is don't.
It's not. It's gonna be. He's gonna have it made into his headstone.
Yeah.
Somebody will steal my headstone. Grave rob. I keep telling people
that thing out.
I'm telling people who said they're gonna get buried with your stuff. I said, don't say it live. People gonna dig you up.
Yeah, you're gonna get exhumed.
It's like people gonna dig you up. What's going on? Oh, I'm just looking for something. I don't know what's going on. And they pull out the Hulk one that you got buried with and put you back in the casket.
Oh Lord.
If they bother putting you back in.
They might not even put you back in.
Those were all fantastic books. WhoDat, thank you so much for coming on and showing them to us. That was
I appreciate
fantastic.
it. I appreciate it. I appreciate you invite me and rescheduling, because last time we literally had a storm pass through. We lost power, and I'm looking like I'm going to tell Gary, I don't know when the power's coming back on. And it's so funny. The power came back on literally like the show starts at 7 my time, so the power came back on that day like maybe like a few minutes before the show would have started. So I'm happy we
right. We
moved
played
it.
it safe.
I'm happy we moved it, because it was too hectic and it was too
Right.
hot. It was like I'd have been sitting here kind of miserable, not smiling as much, because I was in a hot house.
Right.
If anybody knows, I'm in Louisiana, and it can get very hot during the summer.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but I appreciate you having me. I've had a lot of fun. Oh, I had a lot of fun, man. It made me really think of what books, mean a lot to me. Even though I had a lot of books. I mean,
that's the whole point of the show. It's not about price. It's just about what's important to you.
And when it made me think, and like I said, that's why I showed certain books that might have been, you'd be like, oh man, that was a pricey one, like the FF one, but it had a meaning that, to me, and to everybody who collects anything Marvel, this is kind of what started it all. And the family asked that book. That's why I had to put it in there, like, over another book that it means more to me as far as when I grew up.
Right.
But man, it made you think a lot, and it makes you look at your collection differently. And I like this show. Like I've been digging, watching it in the background. I might not say nothing while I'm watching it, because a lot of time I like to just lurk and listen.
I lurk too.
I think everybody lurks.
We're going to go around the horn here. We're all going to say what we got coming up. We'll start with you, Jim. What's coming up for you, sir?
I am going to be, we talk about going out hunting. I'm going to be going out and hunting video. There is a LCS that I really want to go to, but it's closer to DC, and it's like going to be an hour away. So it's a little bit of a drive, but they're probably not, they're really tiny, but they have epic books, and I just don't get those here where I am. He doesn't have it, so I'm kind of maybe going to shoot a little road trip video, so that you see, just go into a different store, and those guys are super cool. I don't know if you know Michael Ackery. He has a small YouTube channel, but they're his LCS, and they were at Heroes Con, and I talked to those guys, so I said, I may want to come and film, and they're like, yeah, we don't care, go ahead. So
nice.
Yeah, I know Michael. I know you're talking about when you said it. I know what you're talking. All
right. So coming up for me, in 2 days' time, you can find me on Madam Blaster's YouTube channel for Coffee and Cosplay. And this week, she is going to be the Black Cat. I'm going to be showing some books on there. We have trivia lined up. There's 2 chances every episode, and she might throw in a third. There's 2 chances every episode to get your name on a popsicle stick or clothespin, which goes into a drawing. And at the end of the month, whoever she pulls out in that final episode for that month gets a portrait done or whatever they want from her.
You're going to keep your clothes on this time, right?
I can't guarantee anything.
Jackson Roy.
You'll have to fight with Stephanie on that one, Jackson. I'll let her fight that one out with you. But so that's coming up this Saturday morning, 4:30 MST, and then 7:30 Eastern. So I guess 6:30 a.m. for you, WhoDat. And also next Tuesday we have. My phone wants to keep timing out. We have Unruly Simeon is going to be on the 10-1-1.
Oh, I like Unruly.
And then on the 20th, on In the Hot Seat, we have artist Danny from Drawing Conversation on IG, who is going to be on the show. And Jim, Madam Stephanie will be co-hosting with us that evening.
All right, that's my birthday.
All right, so you won't be. So it'll be me and Stephanie.
I might be here. I don't think we're going to do anything until the next day. I don't know if we're doing anything. I have to ask. I'll let you know.
And then we still got Milk coming up.
I'm old. It
Flower
doesn't matter.
Comics, and we got Shop coming on In the Hot Seat for the 27th.
Nice.
So we got a whole lineup coming. All right. With that, WhoDat, what do you have coming up, sir?
So I'll be doing a lot of CGC unboxing from Signature Series books on my channel that I've got coming in from Dallas. I have a big kind of like, this might be the drama unboxing Monday, because I've called CGC like 4 times about a book. We tried to make sure it comes back correct. I took a it's on my IG.
I saw it. It's the Blue Label.
It's the Blue Label signed book. So every customer service person I've talked to said, well, in the system, it shows that it is in the signature. So hopefully it is, they changed it after they scanned it. So we're going to find out together.
Yeah.
Nice. That's
going to
exciting,
be,
though.
it's going to be fun either way. Because I'm happy to get my book back, but hopefully I don't have to send it back right after I unbox it.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a fun either way unboxing. I'm probably be angry if I have to send it back, because it's one of those things that you've called multiple times. You know, we tried to tell people, can you put hands on it to make sure, and they can't, because customer service is great. I'm not even lying. They're very good, but they only can do so much.
Right.
And in quality control, it's out of hand. That could be a whole nother show. Again, people could do that type of show with CGC every 3 months.
Yeah.
But they're back at it of not really having good quality control. So we're going to do that fun unboxing. But Friday, if anybody follows Tony Sanders, I'll put his name in the chat. Tony Sanders. I'm on Tony Sanders' channel, The Hunt. So you can just look up Tony Sanders IG, and you can find his YouTube that way as well. But I'm on The Hunt with Tony Sanders. We've been doing this for a long time. I think when my daughter was a baby. Me and Tony are actually The Hunt tag team champions. So it's basically like wrestling. We, you show your favorite book, the chat votes, and you win. Or, you can win, you can lose. We talk smack about each other's books. So, if you show a book, I'll be like, man, nobody knows about that trash book. You're like, you could be showing a great book in my mind, but I'm not gonna let people know that.
Yeah.
I did it to Man Cave Comics. Y'all can ask Man Cave if you want to see how that from. He showed up, I think, a Submariner 1. And I said, nobody knows what that book is. And I showed up Giant Size X-Men 1. And everybody voted for me. So,
well, that's part of the show, though, is the smack talk, though, right?
Well, it's part of the show, but at the end of it, we're all real friends.
Yeah.
We chatted up at the end of the show. We're really, it's all fun. No, nothing serious, because we've had people message us and say, man, you really don't like such and such. and we're like, and we have a locker room chat.
Yeah.
It's like regular wrestlers are in the locker room and they talk about stuff, and we talk in the chat and be like, man, he really think I said, we got him now. So like it's all fun. It's all in good fun. So if you ever want to be on a show, you can just message somebody who's on the show. You don't have to be a recurring person on the show. You can just come on a couple times and just have some fun and pick a wrestling character that's not currently already picked and have fun with it. That's all I say. And you come have fun, talk trash, be out of your own element, out of your shell. That's how I kind of say it. And it's all in fun, man. So that's definitely a good show that I'll have, a stress relief show that I call it.
Jim, I could totally see you be in China.
Man, Jim is Kane. Stop it. He's Kane.
Oh, Lord.
Big red machine. I already gave him a character. But So that's what I got going on Friday. But
nice.
Later on, me and Bleecker, I know you guys know Bleecker. I got to promote myself and Bleecker. Me and Bleecker are going to do a sale on Instagram. Probably in a couple weeks. It's going to be this month, but it's going to be on Saturday. It's either going to be at the last Saturday of the month or the Saturday before that. So we're going to do a sale together. Bleeckers does a lot of things at the flea market. It's something different from the YouTube stuff. It's more like a claim sale,
right?
And we try to price everything 10 to up to for myself 10 to even up to 50% under the last sale. Because I know what I got stuff for. I want to give people a good deal.
Right.
If I make $5, I'm happy. If I break even, I'm still happy. So it's how I look at it. I'm getting money to go buy something else, and you're getting a book that you want for a great deal. That's how I look at selling.
Oh, exactly. It's a good way to look at it.
Because if I looked at selling the other way, some of the books I've shown, I would have sold them at the height of the comic boom.
Yeah, right. Where the bubbles burst.
Oh yeah, yeah. I would have. Oh yeah, and I had the thought a few times with messaging people. So that's what me and Bleak are doing on IG on the IG side. So yeah, to promote. I got so much stuff going on. You can see me in a lot of places, but definitely on those platforms. And last shout outs to Sands. I'll be on Sands Sundays. YouTube. I usually bump on it at the beginning for the first 2 or 3 rounds, but Sands, he calls it the cookie shop, and the reason why it's the cookie shop because you get the cookies and we're left empty-handed. We're like, we don't have you get the deal. You get the deals there, so I'll be there as well. So, but thanks again, Gary. Thanks again, Jim. Everybody in the chat. I want to give everybody a shout out. Thank you guys so much for I was reading a lot of comments, like trying to sneak and read as I'm showing stuff, telling stories. But this is a great show. I'm happy I was invited. And it's just something different that you can see other people's collection and what their mindset is. So it's kind of I do like that. So definitely thanks again. And hopefully everybody follows everybody. Follow everybody, man. Follow everybody.
Sub everybody up.
That's how you meet everybody. I would have never known about some of the people if I wasn't watching Gary's channel. And I saw, oh man, this person's on there. I said, no, I don't really follow. So I started following different people that way. So that's how the community goes. So appreciate you. And I'll be hitting up cons more next year. So
nice. And
come up to Charlotte, man.
That's actually on the list. Heroes.
Yeah,
we already I think we have the hotel book. Yeah. We already have the hotel book. So I have that book, have Dallas book, and I'm going to New Orleans Fan Expo. And maybe a fourth. A fourth is unknown yet, but those 3 are definitely on the picture. So
nice.
Awesome. All right, guys, gents, thank you so much. Jim, thank you again for co-hosting. WhoDat, thank you for being a guest. And of course, also thank you to the chat who was popping tonight. We had a lot going on in the chat. It was hilarious. It was fun. Thank you for coming out and supporting all of us. WhoDat's links are in the description below. So if you're not subbed up to him and you're watching us on the rewind, please consider going into the description below and following him on IG and subbing him up on YouTube. And again, gents, thank you so much. What a fun episode. I really appreciate you guys. And as we like to end these things, keep it casual.